Hello and welcome to the Paul Green Comedy Podcast for June 24th, 2025, episode 208 of the Paul Green Comedy Podcast. Stand-up comedian, actor, and improviser Paul Green coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, baby. So I took a little quick trip up to Vegas just to sort of hang out at the comedy scene here with my good friend Andrew Nurelli, the incredibly funny and talented stand-up comedian friend of mine. And so I had an opportunity to meet up with a booker up here who has booked me on a show here about a month ago out in Vegas. And his name is Phil, and really, really cool guy. So we got to chat for a few moments with my buddy Andrew. And I wonder if I can talk about this. I can probably talk about it. He just mentioned that he is working on producing a comedy special for the Guinness Book of World Records. And it's something like 86 hours of straight comedy. By straight, I mean in a row. I don't mean not gay. And that seems like quite the undertaking. And so anyway, it was really cool talking to him, and he just seemed very excited and very ambitious. And I don't know, it's just got me thinking today about just how is it important? I don't know what the right word is, but just how there are just so many things that we can do with our lives. So many opportunities, and yes, not everybody can do all things. Like, I get that. Everybody has limitations, and they're in the situations that we're all in with the resources and capabilities and whatever. And so I'm trying to be sensitive of that fact. But within our own little spheres of influences and our own lives, just how many cool things are there to go for and to strive for and to, give it a shot. And this isn't even really about getting the thing, because sometimes you don't get the thing, and that is life. But there is just something that is so expansive to me, might be the word. Exciting. Just gives life a little more spice, a little more flavor to just think of something big and ambitious and seemingly impossible and give it a go. And here this booker is just talking about how he decided to try to beat the record for the world's longest comedy show, which is 86 hours straight. And what a cool random thing. It reminded me about 10 years ago, me and a couple of friends started a local late-night talk show called Tonight at the Pad, starring Paul Green. And we filmed it all in Mesa, Arizona, and just had local guests and had a band. We did the whole thing. And we only got about 4 or 5 episodes. We would do like 1 episode a month. It was a ton of work. We're doing it with no money. I mean, nobody had any money. So we're just trying to get people to volunteer, to help us produce it and to film it. And, just trying to get any guest that we could possibly get to be on the show. And man, we just had so much fun doing that. Unfortunately, it wasn't really sustainable. People got burnt out, and it was a ton of work, and it's not like we were really getting much result out of it. We were just, sticking the episodes on YouTube, and it would take like a month to edit an episode together because we didn't have video editors. It would take hours and hours and hours to edit one episode together. So, it was a gigantic undertaking, but it was just so cool just still to have done it. And even though maybe nothing directly came as a result, what made me think of that is on 2 of the episodes of Tonight at the Pad starring Paul Green, there's this website called recordsetter.com, which is sort of like a Guinness Book of World Records online. However, it seems far less serious. There's just tons of records on there, and a lot of them just sort of seem almost gimmicky and more playful than like legitimate world records. And as part of that show, we beat 2 records on recordsetter.com in the late night talk show arena. And the 2 talk shows that we happened to beat were The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon and The Conan O'Brien Show. And if you go to recordsetter.com and you Google, I think it's World's Fastest Talk Show, was one of the records we beat. And the second record we beat was the most holiday songs sung under a minute by a duet. I think was the name of the record. So you can actually go to recordsetter.com and you will see Tonight at the Pad starring Paul Green in first place in front of The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and Conan O'Brien. So yeah, that's sort of the energy that I'm entertaining and that I am feeling inspired by. Is just that energy of just trying to do something cool. If for no other reason than it's just a cool thing to try to do. And, I just think it gives life a little bit more color and a little bit more interest and intrigue. And you're going to learn a lot and have a lot of fun and have challenges. But heck, why not try to get an 86-hour continuous comedy show? You know what I mean? Why the heck not? So anyway, so that was lunch, and I had a cool conversation in terms of getting ambitious with my comedy partner, the one and only Josh Novi, part of the Midlife Crisis comedy show. And I had put together an email to him last night just talking about certain ambitions that I have for our 2-person comedy show. And one of the things that I said in that email was, if we can sell 50,000 tickets at $20 a piece, then our comedy show will make $1 million. And then I just broke that down. I just said, well, to sell 50,000 tickets, that is 50 1,000-seat venues. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much 1,000-seat venue a weekend in a year, and we'll make $1 million. And I don't know, for some reason, when I just broke it down that way, it just seemed so much more reachable and plausible and attainable. And I don't know, I just think there's something valuable in just putting out, just writing down a big goal, even if it just seems so far away, but just writing it down and then trying to break it down into maybe smaller digestible parts, even if nothing more than just to, I don't know, how do I say it? Just make the unattainables seem maybe less unattainable. Because something, like saying, oh, making $1 million doing comedy, that for some reason that seems unattainable. But going, oh, well, can we sell 50,000 tickets? Ooh, well, that seems like a lot of tickets. But then going, could we sell 1,000 tickets at 50 1,000 seat venues? It's like, oh, yeah, there's a lot of 1,000 seat venues. Or could we sell 500 tickets at, what's the math here? 500 tickets 100 times. So could we have 100 500 seat venues? There's even more 500 seat venues. As a matter of fact, we are doing a 600 seat venue in August, and we're going to go ahead and see how many tickets we can sell to that. So, I don't know. There was just something about just writing it out, sending it to my buddy, and just saying, hey, what if this is what we try to do? And he sent me a text today just saying that he's totally on board. And now, what will actually happen? Well, that is yet to be seen. But again, just putting it out there, writing it in an email, breaking it down, just seemed to make this ambition and this dream even more reasonable, although it seems entirely unreasonable so many times. So anyway, so last evening then, so had lunch with the booker, had some conversations with my boy Josh, and then last night went to go see a show at the Comedy Cellar at the Rio in Las Vegas because my boy Andrew had a friend in the lineup, and I also had a friend in the lineup who I had seen at this same comedy club about 2 months ago, and he's an incredibly funny, I mean, just home run hitting stand-up comedian named Gabriel Rutledge. And so I was really excited to do that show, or to watch that show, and got to hang out with Gabe, and also got to hang out with another comic named Nick Griffin, who's been in the game a long time, and just talk comedy and chew the fat. And I'll tell you, it was really interesting because we're all a little older. I was actually probably the youngest of the three, or the four comedians, me, Andrew, Nick, and Gabe. And I'm going to be 43 in a couple of days, so I ain't no spring chicken, you know what I mean? And it was really interesting listening to these seasoned veteran comics just talk about comedy and career and trajectory and the struggles and the ups and the downs. And it also was encouraging to me because while listening to them, it did make me realize that, and I've said this before, that if one is not able to sell tickets to a show, then the ceiling of success is very low, and can be very challenging to navigate. And so, I don't know, there's something about that conversation encouraged me when I just put in perspective that that's actually what I'm trying to figure out how to do, and what I am doing with the Midlife Crisis comedy show with my buddy Josh Novi. And so, I don't know, it was good for me to hear that, to kind of hear what they're talking about in their struggles as kind of a cautionary tale a little bit, just to say, hey, just so you know, you're probably better off learning how to move tickets to a show every bit as much as you are better off learning how to be really funny. It's like you gotta kind of have both. Being really funny is one thing, but then also having a draw and being in a situation to where strangers are willing to buy tickets to see you do comedy is really necessary to be successful on the business side of things. And I don't know. It was good to hear that. And so that's sort of just been, it's just kind of been sort of a philosophical musings of a day. Just being in Vegas, interacting with seasoned comics and bookers, and just realizing the game that every comedian is in, which is in this, we all want to be artists, but there's a business side to it, and learning how to navigate the business side and do so in a manner that gives the highest potential of success. And that is always going to be an element of this game. I know a lot of artists don't like that. We wish that we could just be artists and that the business world would compensate us fairly for our art, but there is a bit of a reality check there where that doesn't always seem to be the case. And so learning how to be okay with that and to learn how to navigate that side of things and to try to stack as many cards in your favor as possible to be successful while you're going for whatever your big dream is, and trying to be successful, trying to figure out how to make the art and the business side work for you, for whatever your dream is, whatever your ambition is. And whatever that dream and ambition is, I say go for it as best you can. Don't shy away from trying hard things just because they're hard. Take a step towards it and see what happens. Take that first step and see if take that first step in the dark, and when you do, see if the light appears under your feet as you walk. So that's the update for day one here in Vegas. I'll be here for the rest of today. I'm going to hit an open mic tonight and see how that goes. And so just having a good time in Vegas, hanging out, meeting some good comics, some bookers, and just getting a good education on the business side of comedy, and just making sure that I'm taking all that information in and taking it into consideration, because having a big dream also means you gotta have the financial side in place too. Otherwise, the dreams can die out pretty fast. So learning to be wise with that and prudent and pragmatic every bit as much as I'm all about being big, ambitious, and going for big dreams and taking calculated risks that make sense and going for it. I am, both of those things to me need to be true and can exist simultaneously as we move forward with trying to get those big dreams. So that is the update for June 24th, 2024, episode 208 of the Paul Green Comedy Podcast. I hope all your dreams are coming true. I love you all so much. Thank you for listening, and I will check in with you tomorrow.